Alhamdulillah. Countless gratitude to Allah, the Lord of all the creation, that He has bestowed upon us this opportunity and ability to spend this time in His remembrance. Innumerable peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of whom Allah's blessing is upon us. My dear and respected audience, Allah says in Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ كِتَابٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَهُمْ وَكَانُوا مِنْ قَبْلُ يَسْتَفْتِحُونَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُم مَّا عَرَفُوا كَفَرُوا بِهِ فَلَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. And when the book came to them, that was attesting to the message that they previously had. And before that, they used to seek victory over the disbelievers, for the sake of Rasulullah. But when it came to them what they clearly recognized, they rejected it. So curse of Allah be or is for those who disbelieve. So Allah is once again making it clear that the Jews did not reject the message of Rasulullah for anything but for pure jealousy. They absolutely and surely recognized Rasulullah. They knew all the signs that were told to them. They saw them in his message and in his personality. And they knew him so well that they used to call for Allah's help and mercy in the battlefield for the sake of Rasulullah, for his wasila, through his wasila. So that they be victorious against their enemies. However, when that messenger, when Rasulullah came to them and brought the message that verified and attested to the message that they previously had, they rejected both the message and the messenger. Such disbelievers who know it and then willfully disobey Allah and His messenger, they are cursed forever. They are set astray from the righteous path, and there will be nothing for them on the hereafter but agony and shame. Now the Jews of Medina, as a pre-context of this, they were always in war with. There were two tribes of the Arabs, the Banu Asad and Banu Qahtan. So the Jews of Medina, they were constantly, other than fighting or taking sides between Aus and Khazraj, they were their two arch enemies that they used to fight against. And they were not able to overcome them. They were defeated time and again. So they came back to their scholars and asked their help to tell them something that will change their defeat into victory. So their scholars, they said, okay, if you pray to Allah through these words, say, Allahumma aftah alayna wansurna bin nabiyyil ummi. O Allah, make us victorious and help us for the sake of messenger who will be sent to those who did not have a scripture before. A couple of things over here. The word ummi, there are multiple translations that people have done. But the word ummi in the Quran has been used for the people who did not have a scripture before, who did not have anything that they could read from. Regarding Rasulullah says that there was not a book that you read before, nor did you write it with your right hand. That before Quran was revealed to you. So the word ummi, it counts that those who did not have a book, who did not have a scripture before. It does not imply that Rasulullah he could not read and write. And further argument to strengthen it is that Rasulullah's grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, he could read and write. His uncle, Hazrat Abu Talib, he could read and write. His son, Hazrat Ali Karamallah Wajh, could read and write. So, pretty much everybody where he grew up, they could read and write. So how is it possible that there is one person who is not a dumb person, by the way, growing up among all those people, and that person somehow just did not know how to read? Ali knew how to read and write. Abu Talib knew how to read and write. Abdul Muttalib knew how to read and write. And so how is it possible? Rasulullah growing up in the same household, with the same people, and he could never figure out how to write. The one hadith that we find out, and I am saying it because these things, I was reading earlier, and they said from the 3rd century onwards, that's when people started calling it that Rasulullah did not know how to read and write. And this translation of Ummi as being an illiterate person, that become prevalent after the 3rd century, after Hijrah. Other than that, before that, it is not known. Actually, there are hadith that Rasulullah he used to write the verses of Quran and hang them like an amulet in the neck of the Hasnan Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. So, even at the time of Hudaybiyah, I read one of the narrations that Rasulullah he himself, he crossed out that word and he wrote Muhammad ibn Abdullah, and he crossed out Rasulullah and he wrote Abdullah. And the narrator said that Rasulullah he did not have a very pleasant handwriting. He like Pushpat, he did not have very pleasant handwriting, but it implies that he could write. So the word Ummi, because we will inshallah come to it again when we reach those life limits. But we wanted to clarify it because in Quran Pak, the word Ummi is referred to as the people who did not have a scripture before. So, and also in this verse, the word yastafihun, that they used to seek for victory. They used to invoke Allah's mercy to give them victory for the sake of something. And some translators, they implied Quran by it. Well, Quran, when before Rasulullah everybody knew that a messenger is going to come. But how many knew that the messenger will bring a book that will be called Quran? We don't find that evidence anywhere. You find the evidence of a person. We don't find the evidence of the book. All the signs were given about Rasulullah. He will be born here, this, he will be rescued, the one who will intercede on the day of judgment. All those things that are Musa alayhi salam told, or Isa alayhi salam told, they told about the person, not about the book. Remember said that a book will be revealed, that will be granted. No doubt, Quran is the grandest of all. But all the signs were of Rasulullah, of the person. So it only makes sense that if they were invoking, if Allah is saying that before that they used to plead to Allah to give them, make them victorious for the sake of somebody or something, which they are now rejecting, the only befitting thing is the personality of Allah, not the book of Quran. And again, you can, because some school of thought, they think if you put them, say that they were invoking it for the sake of Surah because Allah will become scared. I don't know how do they reach that conclusion, because if you are still asking Allah, you can ask Allah for anything, for the sake of anything that Allah holds dear. So, but anyway, so just if you will read in some other translations, they will just pass by or say, okay, because of which they just leave it blank. So, And coming back to the point, so they are scholars, those rabbis, and then they told them the rationale. They said, okay, if you want to be successful, then there is nobody who Allah holds in higher esteem than the last messenger. So you ask Allah for His help for the sake of that last messenger, and you will be victorious. And sure enough, this vision worked, and whenever they went into a war and prayed to Allah like that, they were victorious. So again, this is another proof that the Jews, they knew about Rasulullah. They had been waiting for centuries. They left Palestine, they settled around Medina, because in one of the narrations, when they were, some people that came with Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and they saw the signs of this land, and they asked his permission to settle here, to wait for the last messenger, because it was ever, we know from the story of the Salman ibn Farsi, Salman the Persian, that when his last teacher, time of his death came, he told him to go to a place which has date, orchard or garden. And it is situated between two black lands, like two lands of lava. And that's what Medina is. It had lots of dates. And it is situated between two lava fields. So, and that's what, when he was brought in there, he looked at the city. Although he was brought in as a slave, he knew that he was at the right place. So the Jews, they knew long ago that this is the place, and once they came to that place, they knew, and they settled down there, so that the last messengers, they can be with that person, with that messenger. And as I mentioned earlier, that in Medina there were two tribes that were settled there, Aus and Khazraj. They were not Aboriginal, they were not permanent settlers over there. They were from Yemen. Aus and Khazraj, their lineage was from Yemen. And at least one narration that I read was in that they too, their ancestors, at the time of the Subah, who was the first Subah, who was the king of there, and who first put the cover on Kaaba, some of his people, when they were passing by on their way back to Yemen, or looking for some, they found this place, and they said, okay, this is where Rasulullah will come. And then he gave his letter to one of those people and say, okay, if you find them when I am not alive, give it to him. And in which he said that I believe in you, and that you are the last messenger, you are the true messenger. So when Rasulullah came to Medina, that letter was presented. It kept on coming generation after generation after generation. I believe it was from the lineage of Abu Ayyub or somebody else. But one narration says that he was presented with that letter, and he said that whoever believed in me died as well. Yeah. So, yeah. Because his permanent abode was said to be Medina. It was said that he will be born in Makkah, but one of the signs was that he would immigrate to Medina. So yes, he was there, he emerged in Makkah, he stayed there for 13 years, 10 years he stayed. Yeah. No, 53 years. 53 years. 53 years. He stayed in Medina for 10 years. But that was still a big sign. of the last messenger, that when the person immigrates to Medina, then we have that all the signs fulfilled. So probably that's why. But actually I'll take it back, because when the people in continuation of what we are talking about, that Hazrat Salman bin Qais, he said that during his childhood there was a Jew rabbi in Medina. He once came to a gathering that they had, the people of Augmented they had. And he said, "Oh people, be fearful of the day when you will be risen from dead. And you will be held accountable for everything that you do, or everything that you had done. And based upon the outcome, you will either go to the paradise or go to the hellfire." So the people, because they were pagans, they were idol worshippers, they started making fun of him. So we said, okay, what is the sign? What is the proof that you are talking about is truth? So that rabbi, that Jew, he looked into the audience, and Hazrat Salama, he was a young child. He said, "I hope that this child, when he will grow young into adulthood, he will be able to see the time of that last messenger who will immigrate to this land, and he will testify to what I'm telling you about the day of judgment and about the word of Allah, the Surah." So, Hazrat Salama said, and before going back to that person, as a matter of fact, when the Bai'at-e-Aqaba Awwal, first time when Rasulullah went to the people of Medina in Mecca, and he told them, called them to Allah, to His message, those Ansar, the people of Aus and Khizraj, they said to each other that this is the messenger that the Jews were telling you about. Make sure they don't supersede you, they don't be the first one, they don't beat you to accepting his message. So they knew once they met him, then to you answer your question, they knew, and then that's why they became Muslims. But of course, Allah has everything ordained in a certain way, so probably nobody came there before or whatever. But once they met him, they have heard it from the Jews, and they told each other, they said, okay, this is the person, this is the message that they had been telling you about, make sure they don't beat you to it. So, the Aus and Khizraj, they became Muslims, but coming back to the story of Salama, he said that when Rasulullah came and we became Muslims, those Jews, they refused to become Muslims. They said, oh, and we asked that same person, the same rabbi who told me when I was a child about Rasulullah, now the person is here. Why are you not with him? He said, oh no, he is not that person is yet to come, he does not have all those signs, blah, 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 blah. Whereas the only reason they did not submit to Rasulullah was because of pure jealousy. Why is he not from our tribe? Why is he not from Israelites? Why is he from the people of Arabia, from Banu Ismail? Actually, coming back to, and this was the time, deen is not easy to act upon. So there is a very stark contrast. Hazrat Hanzala who embraced Shahada on the battle of Uhud, and he was given a bath by the angel, Wasil al-Malaika. His father, Abu Amr al-Qasim, he's called now. He had the same character. He used to preach about Rasulullah before Rasulullah came. And when Rasulullah came, he started negating him. And then Hanzala, he heard his father and he saw him. He became a Muslim. He embraced Shahada. He became the only person that he knew of who was given a bath after his death, given a bath by the angel. But his father, he went to Makkah, he started provoking people to fight against Rasulullah. And when At the time of Fatah al-Makkah, the conquest of Makkah, then he moved away further down into the Arabian Peninsula and then died as a disbeliever. But so this was the situation that, yeah, whoever, Abdullah ibn Salam, when he embraced Islam, so he said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to announce it, my Islam, to my people, but I want to do it in a way that maybe it opens their eyes. So why not you do that? You call all those, their great leaders, their top scholars, and ask them about it. So Rasulullah he called them upon, they come and he said, what do you say about Abdullah ibn Islam? They said his father was the greatest of the scholars, blah blah, his grandfather probably. He is the best of our scholars. He knows way more than anybody of us and everything. And then, when they were said and done, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Islam, he came to the door and he said, "O people, and I testify that this is the last messenger that we had been waiting for." And those Jews, they said, "Okay, you are cursed, you are an idiot, your father was an idiot, his father was an idiot, you don't know nothing about anything, we don't listen to you." They walked out. So, the signs were there. Even their scholars and people who had a clear, clean heart, they knew it, that this is the last messenger that we have been waiting for. But the jealousy, it got the best of them. And they failed to understand that if they were granted victory for the sake of this messenger, if they were seeking this person's wasila to Allah for their victory, then by turning their back to the same person, what negative consequences would it bring to them? And those consequences, they faced those consequences. You know, their castles, their gardens, their land, they were all captured by the Muslims. Many of them were killed, others were put into exile. And this is all that happened in this world. In the hereafter, they have nothing but agony and pain waiting for them. So now what holds, what we just discussed, holds a lot of key points to ponder upon. First of all is that seeking Allah's help for the sake of Surah or through Surah is highest thing that Allah has near Him. It was the reason that the Jews were victorious in their battle. So it's clear that we are granted our wishes when we ask Allah, but ask Him to help us for the sake of His messenger. You are not asking Rasulullah to help you. That's the key point. People miss it. Both sides. Not right. Don't do it. Ask Allah, but ask for the sake of Rasulullah. Because we have shortcuts. We don't have anything to present to Allah. Oh Allah, I did this for you, so do it for me. Oh Allah, remember I did that good thing, so please do that. Who are we to say that? We say, oh Allah, we just follow your Rasulullah sallallahu. Please, for the sake of His honor, do this. Help us. We need your help. We can't do anything. That's all. And whoever refuses to do so, there are many who willfully, they rebelliously say, oh, we are not going to ask Allah about it. They say, oh Allah, you and us, you and I, just do it to me. Me, I, myself. Those people are even worse than those Jews. Because those Jews, they at least had that much faith in Rasulullah that they used to in their days before they went bad, at least they were at that part of Iman before. These people are not there. Second thing to keep in mind is that it is in Rasulullah that everybody finds a refuge from the trials and tribulations of this world and the humiliation of the hereafter. Not humiliation. Because Rasulullah ﷺ is the embodiment of the mercy of Allah. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Allah does not shower His blessings on any of the creation living anywhere in the universe or beyond. None of the creation is blessed but through Rasulullah ﷺ. Because look at the statement, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Not lil-ins, not lil-jinn. Allah did not say, I created you a rahmah for the human, or for the humans and jinns, or for the earth. Not even the earth. Not even the earth, or the sky. Allah said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Alameen, whatever world Allah has created. Yes. It does. Because, and some scholars, some have gone who pondered deeper into it. And if you remember the hadith of Hadrat Jabir ibn Abdullah and in which Surah said, he asked Rasulullah, who Allah created the first, and Surah said, Jabir first, before any Allah created the nur of your prophet. And I was actually once when I was in Australia, and it was Ramadan in Tarawih, and after Tarawih they used to have little question and answer, and they said, the person asked, he said, okay, what did Allah create in the first? And I was sitting in the audience, and I said the light of Surah, and everybody had a very good laugh. But if you look at it, there is nothing in the world, in the creation, that can bear the presence of Allah. There are, they say, 500 veils between Allah and the next creation. Even that, without those veils, nothing could have existed. If there was not that hijab, no creation could have existed. None of the angels, neither law, none, kalam, everything, nothing could have existed. Not even Kursi could have existed. And that hijab, that is Allah's rahmah. And those hijabs, those are the nur of Rasulullah. So, and this is a very deep thing to even understand. So now you can understand the context of the verse of Al-Baqarah. And Rasulullah came as Awadman. So, but let's leave it to there. Coming back to the topic, that Surah all the mercy that Allah showers upon the creation comes to the creation through Rasulullah. And the Jews, now one thing is certain, that knowing only just takes you just that far. The Jews, they knew Rasulullah, about Rasulullah. They knew he is the last messenger. What they lacked was the belief. Up until they had belief in him, they were asking Allah for his sake to make them victorious. They were granted victory over their opponents. As soon as their belief was gone and all they had was the knowledge, they were rejected. They became disbelievers, they were cursed. So belief is very important. Once you know it, then you have to believe it. And believing in Rasulullah ﷺ, in his message, in his personality, that is what is called Nisbat-e-Rasooli. This belief, when you have, that is when your prayers are answered. Your requests are granted. The world, my dear audience, is filled with trials and tribulations. Who is here who is not in, who or who has not been in some sort of agony, pain, trial, test, trouble? We all, that is what the world is. But the thing is, no matter how hard the situation is, how vulnerable we are, how painful it is, it's still transient. It goes away eventually. The trials, the troubles, and the happinesses of this world, they are temporary. But the test, the fear, the pain, the anxiety of the day of judgment, that is not temporary. Whoever come out on the losing end on that day, that person is doomed forever. And whoever is successful on that day, comes out happy, that person is successful. And on that is the day when everybody will be seeking any and all help they can. Don't for a moment think that you will enter the day of judgment and without needing anything and anybody's help. Rasulullah said that when the hellfire will be brought on the day of judgment, it will have 70,000 rains. And there will be 70,000 angels dragging through each of the rains. And it will be parked or put about 100 years distance from the ground where of the hushes, where people will be. And when it will roar, when it will be brought there, it will be like full of energy, like with anger, like a beast. You can think of it. And when it will be parked there, then it will roar. The hellfire, the Jahannam, it will roar. Rasulullah said, when it will roar, there will be not a single messenger or prophet who will not go to the sajda to supplicate, to prostration, and will say, "Oh Allah, today I only ask about myself. Just save me from it." Nobody will be asked. And that when the prophets and messengers, they will be so scared. Who are you and I? We will be catching every straw we can to make us get away from it. And at that time, the only person who will lend a hand would be Rasulullah. It is 50,000 years, the day of judgment, the length of it is. And for an unknown period of time, a long, long time, the people will be gathered in that ground, the Arafah. Allah will be present on His majestic throne. The angels will be lined up. And people will be, some will be neck deep in the sweat, some will be ankle deep, some will be knee deep. And everybody, the hellfire is parked there. And it's a day that Allah says in the Quran that will make the kids grow old. To fear, pain. And everybody will be filled with anxiety. And there will be a time will come when people will not even care about if they are going to go into the hellfire or to the paradise. All they would want is to plead to Allah to please start the process. Start weighing their deeds. So they can get rid of all that anxiety. It will be that much. And what will they do? Allah is there. The angels are there. Will they just go to Allah and get into the sajda and say, oh Allah, please start doing it? The whole mankind from Adam till the last person? Would they do that? Today we say, oh, and I've said that many times, but it does not change the importance of it. Today we say we don't know Allah. We know Allah. We don't see Him. He is where He is. We don't see Him, and we say, okay, we can just directly go to Allah and ask without invoking anybody's reference. And that day Allah will be there in front of us. And everybody will want Allah to plead to Him, not want, will plead to Him to please start the process. And what they will do, they will not go to Allah directly. Nobody will. They will go to Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam. All the messengers, one by one. Can you please request Allah to start that process? Can you please? And they will all will keep on saying that, no, today I'm only worried for myself. Can't help you. And then finally they'll come to Khalifa alayhi salam. He said, he will tell them, today nobody can help you but Muhammad Rasulullah. And that's when the whole humanity will go to Rasulullah and they say, oh Messenger of Allah, Ya Rasulullah, will you please request Allah? Will you please help us? And Rasulullah will kind of say, yes, I will help you. And then he'll fall into prostration in front of Allah, and then Allah will open his heart for his thumb. And then he will praise Allah as Allah wants him to praise him. And then Allah will tell him, oh Muhammad, raise your head, ask what you want. And so Rasulullah said, Ya Allah, please start that process. Please start weighing the deed. And Allah will tell him, okay. You stand here, you start, whoever you intercede for, I'll forgive that. And that's when everything will start. Even on the day of judgment, we will meet Rasulullah. There is no getting around it. Abu Jahl wanted, his only problem was that he was ready to submit to Allah. He had a problem submitting to Rasulullah. No? Same with many other people. There is no way getting around it. And if we are, and of course we are, we will be amongst those people who will be going to Rasulullah and asking, Ya Rasulullah, please request Allah to start doing. We will be there. So I think anybody who has any hope of seeking anybody's help in future, what we want to do, we want to keep a good relationship with that person. We want to be respectful to that person. We don't want to to make that person displeased or angry with us. Right? So, even if we are very, very selfish, still it is in our benefit to keep an excellent relationship with Rasulullah. And what excellent relationship? We are not going to give him houses or anything. All we can do is love him for what he is, what he has done for us, what he will do for us. When there was this ayah, now I'm forgetting the ayah, about Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, in which Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, the translation of it is that he will tell, Ya Allah, on the day of judgment, if you forgive them, they are your servants. If you punish them, then you have the right to do so. And so when that ayah was revealed, he went aside and he fell into prostration and started weeping. He kept on doing it, and it said, Allah, He sent Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, said, ask him what does he want. And Jibreel alayhi salam said, your Lord asked, what do you want? And Rasulullah said, the forgiveness of my ummah, of my people. And then Allah said to Jibreel, go tell him that I will make you happy about your ummah on the day of judgment. So who did he cry for? For me and you. He did it before us. He loved us before we can ever love him. He loved us much more than what we can ever love him. This love is that we can do with him, that this act of acknowledging his love and paying him back in the same focus. This is what Nisbat-e-Rasooli is. You understand that he was there before we knew it. For us, he was pleading on our behalf. He was crying on our behalf. He was seeking Allah's mercy. Rasulullah said, every messenger was given one sure shot dua. Allah gave every messenger one time in your life. You can ask for whatever you want and I'll give it to you. And Rasulullah said, every messenger used that one dua. But I have kept it for you, for my ummah, for the day of judgment. On that day, I will remind Allah of that dua. I have saved it. And what has he not gone through? He said that the way I have been tormented by the people, no messenger before me was tormented like that. There is no pain, no agony that Rasulullah did not go through. Zainab radiallahu ta'ala anha, her son, Rasulullah's eldest daughter, her son, he fell sick. And seemed like that he is not going to make it. She sent people to Rasulullah and said, ask him to make dua. So what did Rasulullah say? He said, everybody has a son. It's his son. His son, he was given a son in his 60s, late 60s, Ibrahim. Year and a half, he was on his deathbed. A person who does not have a son to carry on his lineage still kept that prayer. He could have asked for his help. He did not. 2 grandsons he had. He knew they are both going to be murdered. Knew when and where. Could have asked Allah to let them live. He did not. For who? For you and I. For us, he kept that dua. He went through all the pain and agony. He could have asked for the treasures of the world, for everything. He lived like a poor person, although he was not poor. He kept that dua for you and I. He was stoned at. His teeth were broken in the fight. He bled, he wept, he cried. But he did not use that one dua. So, if we love him, if we try to love him, we are not doing any favor to him. We are merely acknowledging the fact that he has done much more for us, and he will do way more for us in the hereafter than what we can ever do for him. So the only thing that we can do is just love him the way he deserves to be loved. That whenever it's about him, his orders, his command, his way of doing things, Nothing stands between us. We do what we did. We do what makes him pleased with us. We do what makes him happy. And that connection, that thought, having and trying to increase that love, this is what is called Nisbat-e-Rasooli. That you have this connection with Rasulullah ﷺ, that you don't love anything more than Rasulullah ﷺ, so much so that whatever you do is exactly the way the Rasulullah ﷺ wanted it or would have done it. And this Nisbat-e-Rasooli, when we have that, then there is no agony, no pain, no nothing that can harm us. All our problems, troubles, they get resolved, they get alleviated. And this pure commodity, this treasure of Nisbat-e-Rasooli is kept only in clean and pure heart. And hearts, they can only be clean through the remembrance of Allah. And it is this remembrance of Allah that is the purpose of us meeting here. So that we all who want to love Rasulullah the way he deserves to be loved, we gather together, we ask Allah, we remember Allah, we plead to Allah through His names, through His words that we are taught, so that Allah cleanses our hearts and fill them with the pure and unconditional love of Rasulullah, the Nisbat-e-Rasooli. So with this intention, this focus, let us start and say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.